Welcome back to our self-defense show, and I want to talk about the children now. What you're about to see is explicit and jarring. It's become quite controversial of late. With me is the woman who uses these most explicit training techniques in her self-defense classes. Her organization is called the Defense Department, and she is Barbara Gallen. Welcome back. Hi. I'm saying controversial because the news is painting this picture that you've gone nuts, but what you're saying is that kids are feeling
great,
good about themselves.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because the reporters come from the media to see what we're doing, and I think they feel very threatened by it. But the fact is, kids see what we're doing, and they go, wow, you mean I could stop someone 3 times my size from killing me? You know, because kids know what's going on.
Yeah.
And they're actually very excited, and they're very glad to be doing this. They're not scared of it because the scary thing is the real thing. Not
they're very, I mean, it's happening to kids everywhere.
Right. So
like mad.
Who wouldn't want to be able to stop someone from doing that? And that's what we give kids the ability to do.
Now, honestly, can this little girl, what's your name, sweetheart?
Shannon.
Shannon, could Shannon actually stop a full-grown man?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, the human being is a very vulnerable organism. And there are many soft tissue places on the human anatomy. What we don't do, what Cynthia Rothrock was demonstrating before, we don't teach techniques that require 6 months or a year or more to perfect. We don't teach percussive techniques because, frankly, when you go up against someone who has a bigger bone structure than you, it's going to take a long time to put them out if you aren't as skillful as Cynthia obviously is. Right. We go for kill spots. We're much more vicious than the martial arts. And I have to say that even Superman is going to miss a step if he's got a 50-pound child hanging from his scrotum.
So how do you girls feel having taken the class? Do you feel confident and good?
Yeah.
Is it something you wanted to do, or is it something your mom said, we're sending you tough noogies?
I wanted to do this.
It is?
Yeah.
So you feel confident now when you go out on the street, and it's a good thing. Well, then show us what are you going to show us first, Barbara?
Well, we're going to show you what we do at the Defense Department, our program in Los Angeles, which, by the way, we also take around the country, is we're training children at the same level of realism that we have been training adults all along. And we're preparing people for worst-case situations, all right? Now, you may have a gun, but you can't get to it. You know, you pull your personal alarm, but, frankly, I have a problem with personal alarms because people really don't come. The bottom line is, what can you do for yourself? Yeah, and that's what we're going to show you. We're going to show you a situation, a worst-case situation.
I'm going to get out of the way.
Where there really isn't any opportunity to flee. You know, if you had mace, it wouldn't be a good idea because this guy's got a knife.
Well, kids don't have that stuff.
Well, a lot of people are buying sprays for their children, but the problem is increasingly, even with children, increasingly weapons are employed. And we feel that you should be prepared for a worst-case situation to do it on your own.
Okay, so first you're going to show us what?
Kristen is, I'm going to put you through a simulation, the kind of thing we do in our training, which is to put you through a simulation of an actual assault. And for argument's sake, we're going to say you're on a camping trip with your family, okay, and you're all down at the lake swimming, and you realize you forgot your bug cream. Okay, and so you just ran up the hill and into the tent to go get your bug spray. Okay, and it's right there's the tent.
Oh dear, I'm getting away from the tent.
Don't move. You hear me? I got a knife. Okay. Don't you scream.
Okay.
I'm watching you. You're a pretty kid by the river. Where's your sisters? Don't you scream. Lay down. Lay down. I'll cut you. I'll cut you.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, you're pretty good. You're a pretty girl. Yeah.
No! Oh my God.
Get that knife. Don't leave him that knife.
No, you're saying what now, Barbara? If you could get...
I'm saying if we could get this type of program into the school systems, and we've had a lot of resistance because I think the educators and the school systems are they're afraid of this. People think children will be scared. They don't give children enough credit. But the fact is, driver's education used to be something that people thought, I'll teach my own kid to drive. 30 years ago, driver's ed got into the schools, and the roads are much safer because of it.
Yeah.
And I think if all children got this kind of training for a worst-case situation, that's what would end abduction.
Well, and the fact of the matter is that we are living with violence on the streets, and you are teaching kids to deal with strangers head on rather than what we were all taught, which was don't speak to strangers.
Yeah, now that leads me to the next simulation we're going to do here. We were all taught not to talk to strangers, and when you figure that 3,500 to 4,500 kids are stolen each year, obviously that's not working. We actually teach our students, both the children and the adults, should talk to strangers. Because when you don't talk to them, what you're basically doing is ignoring them. And when you ignore someone, you allow them the element of surprise to sneak up on you.
So show us.
We're going to give you a demonstration now of a child who, this is Julia. Julia had soccer practice today, and all the moms have come to pick up the kids. Your mom must have gotten delayed in traffic or something. You're waiting in front of the school, and what you're going to be dealing with here is how do you keep a stranger out of your space?
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, you need to move back.
Move back.
You need to move back 5 feet.
You don't have to be afraid of me.
You need to move back 5 feet.
Oh, okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm looking for my little sister. Have you seen her?
No.
Well, she's about this tall.
Move back now.
Okay. Okay. She's about this tall, long dark hair, big brown eyes.
No, I haven't seen her.
Okay. Well, thanks anyway.
Bye.
So what
Yeah, what you want to do is keep...
you want to be strong and forceful.
But you want, first of all, you want to keep your eyes on someone that you don't trust or that you don't know. You don't want to look away. That's what this man was testing Julia. He was looking to see if he could get close enough to her. Right. She kept her eyes on him, and she claimed her space.
Right.
There may be nobody around if you pull the pin on your alarm. You really need to be able to take care of your space by yourself, I think.
And you say that if you can claim your territory, that most of the time you can ward off any...
Oh, I do this all the time on Hollywood Boulevard, late at night when I'm waiting. I don't have a car. I mean, what I teach is what I use and what I know that works.
This is interesting here. This is, somebody that you're familiar with. This is...
Yeah, now, when it comes to children, actually, even when it comes to grown women, the majority of violations comes from somebody you know. Someone who you thought you were supposed to be able to trust.
Yes.
What we try to do at the Defense Department is foster the child's own independent judgment of determining not who someone else told them was a trusted adult, but is something going on that isn't...
Trust your own instincts.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to show you now is Shannon, you're at the movies, actually, with your uncle Tony, and who...
Would you like some popcorn?
Oh, sure, thanks. Don't touch me!
Shh. Look, I didn't mean anything by it. I'm sorry. Shh, keep your voice down.
Now watch the movie.
Sorry.
You know, there's a testing process. That was very good, Shannon. See, Uncle Tony is never going to touch Shannon again because what he did is he did a little test. He touched her on her hair. You know, molestation and serious sexual assault on children and even grown women, there's a testing phase.
Yeah,
if you can fail the test, like she just did, they don't really want to proceed any further.
Good job, girls. Thank you, Barbara. You were, Valerie, getting a kind of a shock out of those kids fighting over there, but you've done hand-to-hand combat, miss, haven't you?
Well, yeah.
Didn't you beat the hell out of a guy one time or something?
I broke 28 bones and sent him to the hospital. He slapped me, and I'm Irish. And I'm half Irish, and the first thing I did was I went for the groin area, as you might say, with my knee. And as he went down, I just grabbed this heavy brass object and beat him up, out, knocked. I'm the one who had to dial the ambulance. He was unconscious.
Oh my gosh, we're back and we're talking about self-defense. You have a question?
Yes, my question is for Barbara. Do you recommend self-defense against someone carrying a gun or a knife?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, our training is exclusively against attackers with weapons because we want to assume the worst-case situation for your training so you're prepared for that. And the question is you have to know how to recognize an opening or create an opening for yourself and take advantage of that. And that's what Kristen did. She never gave him a chance to use the knife once she got started.
Kristen got that knife away from him, I think.
Well, actually, you don't have to take the knife away from someone. Pain is an excellent disarm. And if you don't let up on the attack, he's never going to get a chance to use it. You know, his next stop is the emergency room.
And then how hard is it to teach a girl to go ahead and use that knife, though, Barbara?
The three girls here actually took a class we gave at an elementary school a couple weeks ago. It was a 10-hour class. All of what you saw demonstrated, the boundary setting as well as all the combat. It's a 10-hour class. I think they're all killers myself. So it's not that hard.
Yes.
I'd like to know if you're ever too old or you don't feel strong enough to use self-defense.
You want to know if you can be Ma Barker, huh?
Yes, I do. And I'm from Ireland, too, and I fight back, too.
Good for you.
In our
Well, you're
blood.
not too old then.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about it is we've had students in their late 70s, okay? We've had students who've had paralyzed legs, blind, all kinds of different limitations that wouldn't have allowed them to become a black belt in karate, for example. The nature of the way we teach you to fight is you're going for very vicious, soft tissue targets on this person's body. You don't need any strength. You just need a commitment and the desire to survive. So,
See,
yes.
and the fact that you're older, I'll bet you know exactly where those soft tissue parts are, hon.
Where are they?
I'll bet you.
I'll tell you for the benefit of everyone who's watching and can't come to Los Angeles to take a class. It's the eyeballs, okay? It's the airway and the gonads, yeah.
Yes.